just relaxing and after the whole holiday, Monday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, and the rain is still giving us extra holiday. Anyway, we just need to thank God. Tomorrow is Father's Day, and to all of us fathers out there, I think today's show is for you, and I have a child and a father's advocate who's going to be doing this with me. If this is your first time of joining us, I want to say Secure 247 on Echo 89.7 FM is powered by Lagos State Government. And we do this every Saturday at 3 so that we can educate you and help you to know what is going on in terms of security, parenting, child education, and everything packaged together in safety and security for you. So if this is your first time joining me, I want to say welcome. Again, my name is Richard Amoa. Thank you for always staying with us. My guest is Mr. Adebiyi Enitan. In fact, I think I need to start calling you doctor because in the next few months, your PhD will have been done and we have a doctor in the house. He's a member of CCP volunteers and one of our advocates and at the same time our counselor. You work with the children and parents when it comes to issue of child safeguarding. So today we're looking at unveiling the mask behind the journey of a fatherhood. How are you doing, sir?
Very well. Good afternoon,
Go ahead.
Lagos. Good afternoon, Nigeria. I'm glad to be here again.
Okay. And today, looking at tomorrow is Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
So to every fathers out there, I think we need to really, like I've been saying,
give a shout out.
We need to give a shout out to every father out there. I want to say to every father listening to us right now, you guys are our hero. But again, there's a caveat to it: responsible fathers, who really, really are responsible. I want to say, great job. Just driving to the studio this afternoon, I saw this elderly man, maybe in his 60s, offloading a truck, and I saw another one on a bike, delivery inside the rain, and so many of them, and I said, wow, what men do to survive, and how men are surviving. So if you're a father out there today, as we celebrate tomorrow, there are so many things we're going to be talking today, if time permits. But we want to say, whatever it is, going to remain strong, resilient, and what again? And strong. So, while we are on that, I will be quickly telling us some essential tips for driving in the rain because it's raining right now. Whether you like it or not, you see some accidents here and there that we can easily avoid. And unfortunately, when it rains, people assume that, okay, they have all the time to speed and they are enjoying the sound of their tire. We're going to talk about that later. But quickly, the fatherhood, unveiling the mask behind the journey. What's your take on that?
All right. It's a very broad topic that we cannot exhaust today.
Yeah, right.
However, I'm going to establish on some facts because the fact is what will make us as father to understand quite all right our responsibility. And of course, I'll take it from Time Magazine that said, it's a research that said, more than virtually any other factor, a biological father's presence in the family would determine a child's success and happiness.
Okay.
So, however, we must ensure that the success of our children lies in our care as a father.
Okay.
So, if having that understanding, also another author said, a scholar, David Blankenhorn, said, confronting us, so looking at the social norms, the social problems, you might want to think is drug, you might want to think is addiction and the rest. But he said most of urgent social problems, fatherlessness, is the most destructive trend of our generation.
Wow.
By David Blankenhorn. And of course, you want to look at it in different ways. You're looking at a family, it's the one that gives birth to a society, and that gives birth to a community, and that extent goes like that. Also, when you look at families or looking at responsibility of a father, Absent father, in fact, another social sciences have made a link between an absent father to a likelihood of a child being a dropout. However, only that we look to the extent of I just want to be a father is beyond that. And taking all of the responsibility, being a parent and not just a father. There's a difference between being a parent and being a father.
Okay.
Looking at being a parent is to care, nurture, discipline, and then be there for a child. Rather than being a father is someone who is absent in so many ways but shows up accidentally to take glory. That's the kind of people where we will see that when things go wrong, they run. And when the story comes back in the nearest future, they want to come and then take recognition and be celebrated. But that's a father. So you take the stand. Who do you want to be? A parent or a father? Wow. So because a parent will be there to care, to nurture, to grow. Not someone when there is trouble, you will run, leave the wife, and then after some years, the child is graduating after 20 years. You wear agbada and cap. You want to go there and you want recognition. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
You can't get it. You don't earn it, so you can't get it. So there are so many things that has to do with fatherhood. And obviously, in fact, if not that the terrain that we are in now, I've been in an outreach one time and then it's actually a special need outreach.
Okay.
And then children who are on the spectrum, you will see them coming in batches, 20, 30, and out of the crowd, you barely see men. It means that when the problem comes, the man had run. And then leaving the body to the woman.
Okay, before we get there, like we said, we're celebrating Fathers today, even though it's tomorrow is Father's Day, because today is our show. And on this show, we're looking at the fatherhood, unveiling the mask behind the journey. And again, as much as we try to encourage fathers and to make sure that they are who they are, I want us to look at what do you think is the marks behind fatherhood's journey?
Well, the marks behind it is numerous. But I'll just give us some little tips that could help us. Now, when you say unveiling the mask, as a father, number one is the foundation of the house. Father is the roof of the house. It is the source. It is the genetic pool. You know, many a times when you talk about being the source, being the root is just there, and the root cannot look up to the leaves. But the root is the one holding up the tree and the leaves, and then gathering nutrients for the tree to grow. So the root is the responsibility of the father. And then, you know, the root is eating. So fathers don't go around screaming, shouting, this is what I am doing. Because the root is eating. But it's the results and the strength of that foundation affects the value of the house. Because father is the foundation. So the strength of the father affects the value of the house. So if the father is chicken out, that means the value of that family is in his hands. And then looking at genetic pool, you have been given birth to girl. So who is the responsibility in this state? But you're also the one clamoring, I want boy. But you are the main source of the genetic pool. So why not? I know it is tedious. And of course, to be doing a whole lot and then not shouting it and then saying, I'm the one doing this, I'm the one doing this, but because it is the strength that holds the house.
As a father's advocate, I'm very sure you know that there's no school where you go to learn how to become a father.
True. No school.
No school.
Yes.
So you know that the journey is tough.
It is. even though we started not quite long, but however, it is.
Yeah.
But you know, the foundation here is that father nourish their provider, their progenitor, and then their authors, their maker.
Okay.
And in all of these things, you look at, no matter how tedious it is, what value are you bringing to your house? And most of the time, the value is the replica of our children. Now, no matter how tedious it is, when we look at these kids and look at what kind of thing or value do I want to see in them. Now, you know, it's very sad now that most of the boys using earring, they're using. So you have to take a stand. It's either you are there, and when you are there, you have to be there, like physically there, emotionally there,
psychologically.
all the variables must be complete.
Okay.
So that the results that you will see after math, you will celebrate.
Okay, B, I'm going to come back to you. Let me quickly go to our listeners. Guys, don't forget, Secret 247 on Echo 89.7 FM is brought to you, or is powered by Lagos State Government. And today, we are celebrating fathers out there. We say responsible fathers who are doing what Mr. Adebiyi Eniton is saying right now. I'm going to open up the line. When I open up the line, please, I need you to be part of this discussion. And that is unveiling the mask behind the journey of a fatherhood. Unveiling. So to you, what is the mask behind your journey as a father? The number to call is 0805 897 5897. Right? Take it again. 0805 897 5897. That's our studio line. Don't forget again, my name is Richard Amoa, and with me is our to big doctor Adebiyi Eniton, who is a child advocate and a father's advocate. He does this everywhere. So if you need his service, he's going to come to your school, to your religious organization, or to your community to come give a talk. B, quick one, while we're expecting our call. Hopefully, I think, please, we're going to call WhatsApp, am I right? You can call to WhatsApp or send message as we normally do. For everyone that was part of us last week, we want to say thank you. Okay, it's already ringing. Thank you. Let me take the call. Hello. 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 Can you hear me? Okay, please, if you're going to call, make sure that you speak out and make sure that you are audible so that we can hear you. The number again is here, 0805 897 5897. The question, my question to you today, or my take to you today, is unveiling the mask behind the journey. And what is the man behind your own journey as a father? Tell us. Let the word here. While we're expecting the call, B, again, why do you think, because as we celebrate men, we need to say something that men need to do, why we help them to unveil the mask. A lot of men don't speak out. They don't speak out. So how do we go about helping men to speak out?
Well, it's quite interesting, and then, you know, that has been for a while. And being for a while is from the trend of saying boys don't cry. You know, raising up children, many a times most of our parents will say, are you not a boy? Why are you crying? In fact, I've heard some parents say to their boy child that boys don't cry. So the expectation is that boys should bottle up their pain and then wallow in. No. Everybody have their emotion. The same thing for boys, the same goes to girls. So that's why I'm saying intentionality in fatherhood is key. And then when you are raising a child and you are being open to say that it's okay to feel bad sometimes, it's okay to be
it's okay
down.
To cry sometimes,
it's okay to cry. So everybody have an open book. So the child say, oh, well, it's okay to cry, not that boys don't cry. You know, accumulated of all of these things make some people to be like, I can't tell people my problem.
Today, up to today, yeah, I have this show in another platform before I got here, and what a lot of fathers were saying that some of them cannot even share that, they're not vulnerable to their wife. They cannot speak up.
And it's because they are still father.
Hmm.
If you are a parent, you open up.
You open up.
Because you have a goal. The strength of the
You have a
house
goal to achieve.
The strength of the house, it's in your value.
Hmm.
So the more you open up, the better it is, and then the transition for it to the children.
Yeah.
That means what you are doing replically, the children are learning it, and they are going to be growing with such things.
Because I think we need to tell fathers that speaking up is not a weakness. It's not being weak.
It's not.
Speaking up shows up that vulnerability is a sign of strength, not weakness, like I said earlier.
Yeah. So you have to.
Okay, let's pick this call. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Yeah, I can hear you. Hello. Hello. Go ahead, please speak up. Hello.
I can't hear right there.
You can't hear me? Just speak up. I can hear you.
Oh, I'll call back now.
Oh. Bolu, what I'm going to do? We can actually hear you. So I think, okay, when you call in, please just speak, talk. We can hear you. So don't assume that we can't hear you. Just speak, okay? Another call again. Hello. Please turn down the volume of your radio set, please. Or just stay away from your radio. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon. So, okay. Please, in case you cannot call, send us a WhatsApp message and we will read it, please. And if you want to call, please turn down the volume of your radio set or just walk away from your radio and just make sure you are audible. So, back to you, Doctor. Now, I think one of the things I think we're going to hammer on, because I know that I want to extend this program to next week, God willing, if you are available. Maybe patience will be here, hopefully. If not, I will be here. A lot of men assume that speaking up make them look weak. A lot of men feel that when they share their weakness or they share their struggles, they are weak. And that affects their mental health. Because keeping silence affects mental health. And I've said this time without number that men need support. I need to break away from this cultural stuff that men does not cry, men does not speak out. We need to be open and get support. Possibly go for counseling to do, because again, is it because the people around them or the people around us are not making us to speak up, or what?
Well, speaking up is actually a fact to say somebody lacks self-esteem. However, when you are not speaking up, that's why most times those who are silent, you just hear that they commit suicide and they are no more. However, for a parent, for parenting or fatherhood, when you talk about speaking up, you know that in these things or on this journey, you are not alone. And the idea of so many, that's what I'm saying, you just have to pick the area that actually will work for the whole family. Because most of the time, it is always like men must be the one to do all of this, which is correct. Men is to pay house rent, to pay school fees, to do all of that. But it's a collective work. Either with the wife, most times, of course, with the wife, and then trusted people that you can relate with. But not speaking up will make things go bad. Because at the time where you will hear the news, it will be disastrous. And it is not the fact that you just want to be there. You want to be there and make things happen.
Okay.
Then you will understand that speaking up is essential that you need to do.
That's not a weakness.
Everybody needs help.
Okay. Another one I want us to quickly look at because of our time. A lot of children today assume that their father just became rich from nowhere because father are not sharing their stories. and the same time they're not sharing their weaknesses, and as a result of that, it builds it doesn't build connections and understanding between them and their children and family. So what is your take about father sharing their stories, how they get to where they are, their struggles, their falling and their rises and all that stuff? Because sometimes I keep saying you need to let Dangote has come to tell us, it's beginning, it's humble beginning, and where he is today, and so many of $10 and all of them. So we should allow our children to know that yes, we have struggles growing up. What's your take about that, Doctor?
Well, this is not the era of what I'm saying versus what you should do. Because many a time we just put out instructions and then we do the opposite. So for example, don't smoke, and the father send the child to buy cigarette, and the father is emphasizing that don't smoke, and you're sending the child on that errand. Yes. So intentional father now would always carry the children along. However, there was a space of having a family meeting where you would tend to say, okay, this is it. That's why if you don't have, they know, they won't bother you. But because you are always showing up like
everything is okay,
it's perfect,
and
then they will keep coming, they keep coming, and sometimes that gets you angry, and then you scream or you shout, as the case may be. But if you have a pattern that everybody comes to the agreement to say, oh, my father does not have so much this time, so instead of buying burger, I'll buy dodo.
Exactly.
Just to help.
Buy quickly.
Exactly.
You understand?
But because most times it's always to appear to everything is fine.
Fine.
But everything is fine is not teaching the children what is right.
What of situation where some men today, their wife really has pushed them so much to the wall when it comes to the issue of money. For example, a woman sees what the other neighbors is doing, the schools his children is attending, and the party has gone to, and they want to do the same birthday party to their own children and the man is looking like, what am I going to do? Going to go and borrow because I want to please the wife, instead of speaking out to say, well, the economy is tough right now, we are managing. Can we do this next year if we cannot do this year? If the school fees is too high, can we move the children to a school we can afford for now? What's your take about that?
Well, what we'll do most times is that we allow social organization to be the judge over our house. And we are forgetting the fact that this is just a single home, not a social group. A social group is different. We take decision in this house. This is what we do, and that stand. However, many people use social values, what goes on in the social media, stories they read, to relate or to as a yardstick in their own house.
Yeah.
Of course, understanding and communication is key.
Okay.
So you cannot because you are the job and responsibility of a father. It's so broad to the part that father is the one that holds up the family down.
Okay.
You are the one holding the family. And then if you are weak, imagine what will happen to the family.
Okay.
Then understanding must come in with your partner to say, okay, this is, most times it's always trying to be like, I'm the head, and then decision I made, and then discussion around it must stand. It is not.
Okay.
Of course, we have said it now that it's better to be a parent than be a father.
Okay, I'll come back to you. I have a message on WhatsApp, but I'm not going to read it. So you can get back to me on Facebook. My name is Richard Amoa. Or Instagram, I still have the name of the person. So if it's you, I will get back to you. Thank you so much. Our time fast spent, so we're going to continue next week, because that's a lot. We're going to talk about fathers showing love to themselves. We're going to talk about fathers' health and so many things next week, because really I want to spend this week and next week to talk about fatherhood and what fathers should do. Because today, I realize that a lot of fathers are dropping dead in their young age. Women still live longer than a lot of men today. There's a reason for that. All that we're going to be looking at. So we talk about self-love, talk about telling their stories, talk about so many things next week, God willing and time permit. So I want to say thank you, bro, for being here today. But before I let you go, your take for the fathers at the celebrate tomorrow in 1 minute.
Well, for fathers doing well,
Hmm.
and then we should just be more intentional
Hmm.
to say that we're the one holding the family.
Hmm.
Our strength is what is keeping the home.
Hmm.
And then we should not be weak, we should not be weary,
Hmm.
we should not run.
Hmm.
We should not run. You know, we have had stories that mothers will not be there, father will now come, will not be begging, say, you now put on social media, what should I do?
No.
So group opinion will now be saying, to consider him now, this, that, but we should not run.
Okay. Please turn down the volume of your radio set if you want to be part of this discussion. Hello. Good afternoon. Oh, why not? Why not? Why not? You have a father. Yeah.
Well done, Mr. Debbie. Well done, Mr. Moa.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Definitely a lot to talk about, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to join you next week. But I just wanted to check something.
Okay.
When you talked about no school to learn about fatherhood, so I know a story of a man who schooled himself through experience. And so growing up, when we were little, a lot of us that's very amazing fathers. So that's because of the need and perception that surrounds the role of a father there. However, this man said to himself that all the love that his father did not show to his mother, he's going to show it to his wife. And all the love that he didn't get on his father, he's going to show it to his daughters. So
Okay.
I know in my heart right now that those girls are going to be amazing children. Why? Because there is somebody to always look up to. Right. Now, being a father is not just about the role and responsibility. One of the keys is actually that when you have a girl child and you're a responsible father, you have set a standard for the child. So the child looks and says that when the child grows up, she says, I can't have so friend. I want to marry so husband because my mother or my father.
Do you know what? We're going to leave this conversation till next week. I really appreciate it because of time. Thank you so much.
Yeah. But for the experience, let's just hold you to that word. Your father isn't a good person to his mother. You would be a good person to your wife.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We have a lot to discuss next week, God willing. Please, I really love you guys to be part of this show next week, Saturday at 3 p.m. Don't forget, this show is powered by Lagos State Government, and we're going to do this to educate Lagosians on issues around security and safety and parenting. This way, I'm going to end the show today, but I can't but quickly say, please, it's raining. Drive, slow down. Take longer to stop or to adjust in a wet weather. Please stay towards the middle lane. Water tends to pull in the outside lane. Maintain a proper following distance. This needs to be increased in a wet weather. Drive in the tracks of cars ahead of you. Do not follow large truck or buses too closely. Please, I'm appealing to you. Take care when you pass them as well. If you pass, do that quickly and safely. Be more alert when driving in wet or slippery road. Please, it's raining now. Let's be safe and go back home safely. I want to say I wish we can do more of this. So by God's grace, next week there's a lot we're going to talk about. If you are not loved today as a father, you need to show that love today. Exactly. Just like our last caller said, if you think your parents were not there for you growing up and your father today, be there for your children and your family. That's what we're going to say today. Bolu, I want to say thank you, Oshego, and Billy, thank you so much. And to every one of you who tried to call in, we could not get you, you could not get us. We say sorry. And for those of you who just called and got, we want to say thank you so much. God bless. Once again, my name is Richard Amua, and I'll be here again by special grace of God, 3 p.m. next week, Saturday. Again, this show is brought to you by Lagos State Government. And please, let's make Lagos safe and habitable to one another. Enjoy your evening. Bye.
With highly exciting cultural and social veins for Lagosians. In Cool FM, room for originality.
In Cool 89.7 FM.
Thank you.
24.
Fatherhood is far.